Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with a school system update. Well, as you know, we are still very much in a year in which the pandemic is predominating in terms of what we do and how we do it. I look forward to the day when we can finally remove our masks and look at each other again as we always have, and communicate with each other as we always have. But for right now, this is the best safety measure, this and some distancing, and that's what we are adhering to. It's a year that really has been very difficult to come to decisions that are universally accepted by people. No matter what decision a superintendent makes in a school system, particularly this year, it seems to please some and anger others. And that seems to be occurring more than I've ever seen in my entire career. And I understand, it's frustration. We all want our students to be back in school full-time, and all of them as quickly as possible. That hinges an awful lot on how quickly the rollout of vaccine can take place. As we all know right now, it is not occurring smoothly, and it is not occurring as rapidly as we would all like. I'm doing a survey right now of school systems across the state to determine who is having students in at a distance less than 6 feet, just to do some benchmarking, because we often hear that, school system X or school system Y doing something better than what we're doing. And when I talk to those school systems, they always say, well, a lot of our parents, a lot of our staff say Westford is doing something better than we're doing. So it's a classic case of the grass is always greener, and oftentimes the grass is not always greener. We have half our students in at a time with no lunch, because we think that has been, since the beginning of the year, the safest environment for children to learn in and for staff to teach in. Now, the research is showing, and the data from the Department of Public Health and the CDC is showing, that the number of cases are trending downward. In Massachusetts in particular, I look at data every day from the DPH. I consult with our local health department, and the numbers of new COVID daily cases is trending downward, which is a good sign. As you know, one of the controversial decisions I made in the winter, late fall, early winter, was to not allow basketball and hockey. And it is, it's always been deeply regrettable that those athletes were not able to play, but I thought that was the best decision to make at the time, because the COVID daily number of cases was escalating rapidly. And in fact, at points in January, early to mid-January, we're approaching 8,000 new cases a day. Well, now the number of cases per day is down around 1,900 to 2,000, 2,200, significantly less. And that's why I made the recommendation to proceed, and fortunately the school committee was able to approve it, proceed with the fall 2 sports of football, volleyball, indoor track, which will take place outside, and cheerleading, which will not involve competition. So I just wanted to give you a little background in terms of kind of the complexities that we've been facing this year. In looking forward, we're working with the teachers union in an effort to move things along to a more normal state, with more students returning at some point. We'd love to see that happen, certainly before the end of the school year. A lot of that hinges upon the comfort of our staff knowing that if they have been vaccinated. And so that's why the rollout is so critical. The school committee passed a resolution this past Monday night seeking to have teaching staff elevated in the phases in terms of vaccine distribution. I've participated with the Merrimack Valley Superintendents Association in a letter to the governor, to Governor Baker, asking that he please consider teaching staff to be a higher priority among all of the vaccine recipients, so that we can begin to bring students and our staff back on a more full-time basis. Our COVID committee meets every 2 weeks. They are an excellent committee with 4 physicians and a number of our school nurses. And we talk about data, we talk about factual information. As we always say, there's the empirical and the emotional. When those facts and fears, we try to stick with the facts in terms of presenting them to our staff and the community about the incidence of transmission. The transmission in our school system is extraordinarily low at the present time, and this is a filming in relatively early February. We have 21 positive cases among students in our school system and only 2 positive staff members. Okay? In terms of close contacts, we have 29 students and only 6 staff. Now those numbers are dropping considerably. Now that is a period between January 21st and February 8th. That's nearly a 2-week period. So we monitor those numbers carefully to see if those trends are continuing downward, which they have been for a period of time. This week we have a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee meeting. We have Shami Curry, who is the full-time Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the Wellesley Public Schools, speaking with our DEI team in terms of some of the initiatives that she has been involved with in Wellesley. What are the initiatives that have resulted in significant dividends to the cultural competency increase in Wellesley among staff and among students? And so we're looking forward to talking with Shami and plotting out the activities that we'll be taking for the rest of the year in the DEI team. We are right in the middle of the budget right now. We have been speaking with the town manager. In March, we will present to the Joint Finance Committee and Select Board. We'll present our budget, and we're working diligently to try and meet the town manager's appropriation number for fiscal 2022. I do want to let you know that on February 22nd, I will be doing a budget presentation, somewhat like the ins and outs of school department budgeting, the ins being the revenues, the out being the expenses and costs for personnel and other items to allow our school system to function. And so it will be an overview. I hope you'll find it helpful. I hope you'll tune in and perhaps ask questions. And on March 1st, I will be doing a presentation to the school committee and to the community about the idea of 4-tier busing. What that means in terms of cost savings to our fiscal 22 budget, which is extraordinarily important, what the trade-offs could possibly be if that is not in place, and some of the actual benefits that accrue from shifting to a 4-tier system. So I know it's not for everyone, okay, but I will map out what the cost savings are and the social and emotional benefits to students that will accrue from that. So lots of activity, lots of decisions to continue to make, knowing that there's only 4 or 5 months left to the school year. It's proceeding very quickly. And I have to once again thank you for your patience, your understanding, because this has been an extraordinarily difficult year for all of you. And I understand that. So this is Bill Olson. I wish you a good day and look forward to seeing you next time.